Hey guys, welcome back to Outperform, and today we're going to go over creating the perfect warm-up. So a lot of people know that I work with a lot of athletes. Being an athlete myself, warm-up is very important to making sure that your workout is done efficiently. And of course, like everybody else, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I don't even fucking work, I don't even warm up, who cares? You know, go in there, lift the weights, no big deal. But of course, naturally, as I got older, I got stiffer. Okay, and so I had to learn and pay attention to my body more, which always ends up leading you to understanding your field a lot more appropriately, because you learn to deal with problems that arise upon yourself, and so you have to make yourself self-aware of how to fix those issues. So during this process of training myself, not only just educate myself, but helping my body physically work better, as an athlete myself, as a MMA fighter and a pro jiu-jitsu grappler now, I have to really pay attention to my warm-ups and make sure they're done appropriately. So what I mean by that? Well, it really doesn't matter if you're an athlete or if you are a weekend warrior, a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter. One thing that keeps this commonly together is that we're all humans, we all function the same, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to foam roll. Now, I'm sure most of you have already seen this. It's a piece of a PVC pipe, usually wrapped in some foam, or it's a dense piece of foam, and you can roll out different parts of your body. This became popular years ago. They call it the poor man's self-massage because you may spend anywhere from $40 on a fancy roller to $9 on a cheap one, but you pretty much get the same effect. And what you're doing is you're breaking down some of the crepitus that has formed in the muscle sheath itself from a lot of lifting and overexertion. Now what it's also doing is it's also bringing blood flow into the muscle belly, allowing the muscle to be primed for work. Now, a lot of people have kind of got into the notion of getting away from static stretching. Stretching isn't good for you. Stretching is going to reduce power output and so on. And some of that is slightly true, but you still need a static stretch. So what happens is you want to incorporate foam rolling at the beginning. What this does, it helps works out any knots that you may have. Work on your chest, your upper back, your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, things like that. Work your adductors, your IT bands, and anything that you find slightly tighter or you find yourself a knot, go ahead and work on that one a little bit more. Now, you don't want to spend a lot of time foam rolling because our goal is not to relax the body, it's to prime the body, to get it ready. Like I said before, shuttling muscles into blood into the muscles belly. So I would suggest anywhere as little as 5 passes, say over a muscle, to 10 passes at 20 at the very most if you have a knot trying to work that certain area out. So our first step is foam rolling. So I'll write this on the board for you. Make sure you can see it. Foam rolling. And I'll write perfect warm up. Now our second option is going to be static stretching after you foam roll. So what you want to do from there is begin to stretch mainly your hips and your hamstrings. Now naturally you're going to have to stretch other parts of your body that are tight, but this is the time to do it the most because we just primed it with the foam rolling. A lot of people save stretching till after the workout. They're nice and warm. They feel like they can get a better stretch. The only issue with that is because the muscle has already been exerted to its full tension, most likely, that the stretching that you're doing does not actually help elongating it anymore. Now, it will help reduce some of the lactic acid buildup and push some of the toxic waste that you've built up from the workout out of the muscle belly, but it's not going to help lengthen the muscle. So we're going to do static stretching. Number 2 on the list is the perfect warm-up, because as your muscle is cold, that is the proper time to try to lengthen the shortened muscle. I have very tight pecs, so this is a good time for me to always stretch my pecs out before I work out. I stretch my pecs out actually before every workout, even though it has nothing to do with sometimes my upper body. So, after foam rolling, number 2 is static stretching. Now, on to number 3. Number 3 is dynamic warm-up. Now, because of the death of static stretching years ago, where people freaked out and said stretching is bad for you, and they took it to another level, they just stopped stretching. But because of that, the dynamic warm-up came up. Now, thanks to people like Gray Cook and so on who pushed this movement, this is very good because it's more of an active type of warm-up. So instead of just stretching in one position and holding it, you're doing a series of movements. These could be toe touchers and butt kickers and cariokas and things like that. A lot of mobility drills. You can use mobility drills as your dynamic warm-up because mobility is not often used as a static hold, but more as a fluid motion. So you can combine some of your static stretching and mobility drills as into your dynamic warm-up. Especially if you're running or you have tight hips, things like that. Leg swings and stuff like that are very good. Arm swings, all these things are called dynamic warm-ups. Different hops, different types of low impact plyometrics also fall into this category. Now, I would prefer a more simple dynamic warm-up and then apply the plyometrics afterwards because you should always follow suit, and it's preferably to go foam rolling, static stretching, dynamic warm-up, and then power output. Even though it's a low impact, I still prefer to, if I put the low impact plyometrics into my dynamic warm-up, I make sure it's at the end. I use the other motions as my dynamic warm-up first. So, foam rolling, static stretching, and then dynamic warm-up. Number 4 is your plyometrics, like we spoke about. Or what I call positional drilling. Now, positional drilling could be basically if we were working on, say, squats. You're going to start squatting. You're going to start using squat patterns to start priming the nervous system specifically for that movement. If you're going to be doing shoulder actions, or you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing power cleans, snatches, anything like that. Simply just taking a stick or a PVC pipe, then to a bore, unload it, and just doing the same motions is just help priming the system. That is a positional drill. That also does fall into a dynamic warm-up into a sense, but we are specifically warming up that nervous system of that pattern directly for the body. And that would be either plyo, or it would be number 4, the same category, positional drilling. I hope this helps you out. It's very important regardless if you're an athlete or if you're a stay-at-home mom. We all function the same. If you're looking for a good, high-quality workout, then you need to prime your body, get it ready for the exertion that you plan on putting upon it. If the body cannot handle the stress, this is how injuries begin to happen because other parts of the body are now compensating because it cannot keep up with the demands that you're asking of it. So, once again, let's go over it. Perfect warm-up, foam rolling, static stretching, dynamic warm-up, plyos, or positional drills. I hope this helps you out. Please stay tuned for more videos on my Facebook channel, and please go ahead and go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. If you have any questions, message me. I'll be more than happy to help you out.